luxury beyond luxury, imposing beyond imposing, strength beyond strength, power beyond power, tech beyond tech, Zeekr beyond Zeekr. That about sums up the Zeekr 9X launch tonight. Talk about imposing. This is the biggest SUV from Zeekr, probably the biggest SUV on the market as of this moment. If I remember correctly, 5.5 meter long, over 3 meters in wheelbase, over 2 meters in width. When this was revealed at the Shanghai Auto Show, a lot of people call it the Hangzhou Bay Cullinan because of where it's made at the plant in Hangzhou. But this is actually my first time seeing this in the flesh for the first time, and the more you look at it, the more you kind of see the Zeekr design language, the Zeekr elements, and you start to move away from that thought that this is a Hangzhou Bay Cullinan. But the posture, okay, the stance, there's no doubt that it's Cullinan-like stance. And as a matter of fact, the launch event, the two models that it was compared to, one was in fact the Cullinan and the other one was the Land Rover Range Rover. The interesting thing about the model from the launch event was in the first probably 1+ hours, the two most important things that was talked about was actually safety and smart driving or advanced ADAS. At the beginning of the launch, they showed this incredible 4 consecutive crash tests, 3 of them being in the front, on the side, and the rear at 105 kilometers per hour, consecutive after a 35 kilometer per hour battery test going over a bump. NIO, they showed a 3 impact tests in succession, and now Zeekr 9X just upped it 1 to 4 tests. Some of the cool ADAS functions they showed was using this Henley or 1,000 miles Haohan platform, which showed incredible features, smart driving, especially you can leave the car, let it park, different levels of the parking garage. The big numbers from this model, obviously is positioned, as you can see behind me, the global ultra luxury SUV flagship. And some of the big numbers obviously are the 900 volt based on the SCA S or the super electric platform. Now this is not a BEV, this is a extended range EV with 55 kilowatt hour battery, 70 kilowatt hour battery maximum that has as much as 388 kilometers of range in fully electric mode and close to 1,300 kilometers in total range. So it's called a super hybrid, the only kind in its class, and up to 1,000 kilowatt of power, 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds. Pure electric range of 380 kilometers CLTC, as I've explained before. 20 to 80% charging done in 8.5 minutes. Again, the Haohan AI digital chassis, active road control, smart drive modes. The safety armor was a big thing that was talked about at the beginning from Gan Jiayue, the CEO of GD Auto Group. And they showed some videos of this going, again, the 4-way crash test at 105 kilometers per hour, the crosswind control, the side impact lift, the automatic obstacle avoidance, which they term general obstacle automatic emergency steering. That was pretty cool. And the other thing that was pretty cool that was shown is this magic carpet lighting, head lighting that showed incredible pictures on the ground, especially this carpet as you get into the vehicle. And again, this is a 3-row, 6-seat large SUV. It's probably larger than the market, probably bigger than even an ES8. And it's got the cloud lounge seats, electric split tailgates, pretty interesting. The 17-inch OLED screen and the 3,800 watt name audio system. Now the pricing, the pre-sale pricing was 479,900 to 569,000, and the actual pricing was just above 450,000. So there's a bit of a price reduction. And then they threw in some additional incentives, I think 60,000 worth that you could, once you lock in your orders by putting down 20,000 RMB, you're able to get those 60,000 worth of features until December 31st. Now, the first deliveries will start actually tomorrow, but the Hyper Edition, which I think people will choose the most, will actually start toward the end of November. So there's roughly a 2-month wait. And remember when this car went on pre-sale a month ago at the Chengdu Auto Show, it got 42,667 pre-orders within an hour. So that's incredible for a vehicle this size and at this pricing, 500,000 RMB price point. In terms of competition, the only model I can think of are probably, obviously the NIO ESA is a bit below with a starting price of the 400,000 and battery swapping BAS pricing falling below 300,000 RMB, but maybe the Ito M9, which is right around the half a million RMB price point. But like I said at the beginning, Zeekr beyond Zeekr. This car went another level, especially in terms of safety and autonomous driving. They were showing this automatic emergency pull-out mode where if it's parked in a garage and if it's raining and the rain kind of builds or accumulates over a certain height, you can really call the car and ask it to come out of the parking space and have it drive above ground. One of the cool features I really like, interesting, is the swivel seating that was first came on the Zeekr Mix, and then also the kind of the flying roof mounted gliding rear seat screen. That was pretty cool. And then a lot of the materials that were used, some of the design language of the grille employed a lot of the Chinese traditional architecture. Even the D pillar of the Zeekr is very striking. Obviously the grille is the reason, and the stance is the reason why it was called the Cullinan. But this model, in terms of sales, was actually surprising that they got this many models. But if you look at the Zeekr brand overall, so far this year, actually their sales are flat. January to August, I believe, was just over 120,500 units delivered, which is roughly about the same as they did last year. And if I remember correctly, they were going to do planning to 320,000 this year. This model is probably not going to get them over the hump. It really have to depend on some of the lower priced models in the range. But first of all, there's a couple of points. First of all, it addresses all of a sudden the hotly contested 3-row, 6-seat large SUV segment. Now we have the Envoy L90, a new ES8 recently that have been blockbusters. This is addressing the market through the super hybrid technology based on the SEA-S platform that the Geely Auto Group has. But again, the highlights was, unlike a normal press conferences where they talk about the interior, seating, space, comfort, Zeekr really drove home the message that safety, smart driving, advanced driver assistance, using this smart AI agent, the car is not going to respond to things, but really actually thinks and try to make decisions ahead of time instead of responding. And they show this in quite a few videos in the smart driving or advanced driver assistance scenarios. And again, the safety, really, the crash test that they showed, the first time a vehicle has been impact tested 3 times following the car rolling over a protruding obstacle on the ground. It's like a little iron ball. It kind of messes up the battery, but everything went through. So I think it's trying to show that safety and tech is probably, and tech meaning more smartification techs, especially smart driving techs, is currently what's driving the luxury and the ultra luxury market. Not only Zeekr, but Zeekr now finally has this tour de force. Speaking of imposing, the Zeekr 009 and the 009 Grand was already imposing. And now this Zeekr 9X just steps it up to an entirely new level. It's almost like if the Zeekr 009 was the Toyota, then the Zeekr 9X is the Lexus. That's how it felt. I think it's definitely one of the most competitive for this price range. It should help the Zeekr Technology Group, which now combined Lynk & Co. It should help profitability. And that's some of my initial thoughts. We're ending this third quarter on a high note. This is my last event that I'm attending while I'm in China this trip, and ahead of the October National Day holiday break. And quite memorable, especially also the zero gravity seating plus the swivel seating and the magic carpet. Some of the quirky features that really stood out for this vehicle. It's things that only Zeekr can do.